Revenge is one of the most deceptive emotions we experience. It disguises itself as justice. It whispers in your ear that if you just get even, if you just make them feel the same pain they caused you, you'll finally feel peace. But the truth is, revenge never delivers on its promise. It doesn't heal the wound, it deepens it. It doesn't set you free, it chains you to the very person who hurt you. When someone wrongs you, the first instinct is to react. It's human nature. Your mind goes into overdrive, replaying what happened, thinking of ways to make them suffer, imagining scenarios where they finally realize what they did and regret it. It feels like taking action will restore balance. But what's really happening is that your energy, your focus, and your power are being directed towards someone who does not deserve it. Instead of moving forward, you're stuck, reliving the pain over and over again. Revenge convinces you that you're taking control, when in reality, you're giving control away. Think about it. When you act out of revenge, your decisions are dictated by someone else's actions. Your emotions are tied to them. They are pulling the strings. They might not even be thinking about you anymore, but you are consumed by them. That's not power, that's bondage. There's a reason why people who seek revenge often feel empty afterward. Because revenge doesn't erase what happened. It doesn't rewrite history. It doesn't undo the betrayal, the pain, the disappointment. All it does is prolong your suffering. You might think that making them feel pain will somehow balance the scales, but it won't. Pain doesn't cancel out pain, it just creates more of it. There's a psychological burden that comes with revenge. You might think it's a single action, something you do once and then move on, but it's rarely that simple. The moment you take revenge, you invite a cycle. They might retaliate. You might feel the need to go further, and before you know it, you're locked in a battle that drains you mentally, emotionally, and even physically. You become someone you don't recognize. You start making decisions that are beneath you. And for what? To prove a point? To hurt them back? That's not a victory, it's a loss. Another dangerous aspect of revenge is that it keeps you focused on the past. Every second you spend plotting, every moment you spend thinking about how to make them regret what they did is a second stolen from your future. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Imagine what you could do with all that energy if it wasn't spent on someone who doesn't deserve it. Imagine how much progress you could make, how much growth you could experience, how much peace you could have if you simply refuse to play the game. Some people justify revenge by calling it justice. But justice and revenge are not the same thing. Justice is about fairness, about restoring what was lost in a way that is right and ethical. Revenge is about emotion, about acting out of anger and pain. And when emotion takes over, logic and wisdom go out the window. You don't make the best decisions when you're fueled by rage. You make impulsive decisions. You say things you can't take back. You do things that can't be undone. And in the end, you often end up hurting yourself more than anyone else. History is filled with people who spent their lives chasing revenge, only to end up miserable. They thought revenge would bring closure, but instead it became an obsession. It consumed them. It poisoned their hearts. And when they finally got what they wanted, they realized it wasn't enough. It never is, because no amount of revenge can undo the past. No amount of revenge can erase the scars. No amount of revenge will ever truly satisfy the part of you that was wounded. But there's another way. A way that actually gives you back your power. A way that frees you from the hold that pain has over you. It starts with recognizing that revenge is a distraction. It pulls you away from your purpose, from your goals, from the life you were meant to create. It tricks you into thinking that someone else's downfall is your victory, when in reality, your true victory is rising above it all. Revenge is a trap because it keeps you connected to the very thing you want to escape. It tricks you into thinking you're winning when, in reality, you're still playing a game you don't need to play. It makes you think you're in control when you're actually letting someone else dictate your actions. And the worst part, it delays your healing. It keeps you stuck in the pain instead of allowing you to move forward. The real power comes from breaking free. It comes from refusing to let your life be defined by what someone else did to you. It comes from choosing to focus on what's ahead instead of what's behind. It comes from realizing that the best way to get back at someone is not to hurt them. It's to be so successful, so happy, so fulfilled that their actions become insignificant. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, you realize that revenge is just another form of attachment. An attachment to pain keeps you in pain. The only way to truly win is to let go, to take all that energy and redirect it towards something that actually matters, something that makes you better, something that brings you peace. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to get even, the goal is to rise above. When someone hurts you, betrays you, or tries to bring you down, the natural reaction is to want them to suffer the way they made you suffer. You want them to feel the weight of their actions. You want them to regret ever crossing you. But here's the truth. Wasting your energy on revenge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity. It keeps you chained to the past. There's a better way. A way that not only frees you, but also makes you stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever thought possible. That way is success. Not revenge, not getting even, not proving a point through retaliation, but proving a point through winning. Because let's be honest, what's going to hurt them more? Seeing you sink to their level, getting caught up in drama, and wasting your time trying to make them pay, or watching you rise? Watching you become someone so unshakable, so unstoppable, that their actions no longer matter. The moment you shift your focus from revenge to success, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of what happened to you and start being the architect of what happens next. Success is the ultimate response because it does something revenge never can. It elevates you, it forces you to grow, it pushes you to become the best version of yourself. It shifts your mindset from dwelling on pain to focusing on progress. The truth is, the person who hurt you was never your real enemy. Your real enemy is the version of yourself that wants to stay small, that wants to stay in the past, that wants to stay trapped in bitterness instead of building something extraordinary. And let's talk about energy for a second. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every action you take is fueled by energy. But the question is, where is your energy going? Are you spending it plotting ways to make someone suffer? Are you spending it replaying old conversations, reliving the betrayal, and wishing things were different? Or are you using that same energy to build something incredible? Because let me tell you something, the same energy it takes to seek revenge is the energy it takes to level up. But only one of those paths leads to freedom. People who hurt you expect you to react. They expect you to stay angry. They expect you to let their actions control you. But when you choose success instead of revenge, you do the one thing they never saw coming. You become untouchable. You show them that their attempt to break you only made you stronger. You show them that their betrayal was not the end of your story, but the beginning of a new, more powerful chapter. Think about the greatest success stories in history. How many of them were fueled by the need to get back at someone? Not through petty actions, not through retaliation, but through achievement. Through becoming so great that the past no longer mattered. The best way to prove someone wrong is not to argue with them, not to waste your breath trying to make them see your worth, but to become so successful that they can't ignore it. To become so powerful that their opinions and their actions become irrelevant. And success is not just about money. It's not just about status. It's about becoming the kind of person who can't be broken by what others do. It's about building a life so fulfilling, so abundant, so incredible that no betrayal, no pain, no act of cruelty can take it away from you. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Imagine the life you could be living if you put all your energy into growth instead of grudges. If you took all the anger, all the disappointment, all the hurt, and channeled it into something productive, imagine how much further ahead you'd be. Imagine the kind of person you'd become. Now ask yourself, will revenge get you there? Will spending your time trying to make someone else suffer bring you that kind of fulfillment, or will it just delay your progress? There's something powerful about walking away from the drama and focusing entirely on your growth. It's the ultimate act of defiance. It's the ultimate way to take control. Because the moment you shift your focus from them to you, you start winning. You start making moves that actually matter. You start building something that lasts. And let's not forget, success is silent. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need revenge. It speaks for itself. The most powerful people in the world don't waste time trying to get even. They outgrow the people who tried to hold them back. They rise so high that those who hurt them can't even reach them anymore. That's what real power looks like. That's what true victory feels like. Because at the end of the day, the people who wronged you don't deserve your focus. They don't deserve your energy. They don't deserve to take up space in your mind. What does deserve your energy? Your goals, your dreams, your future. Every second spent on revenge is a second stolen from your own greatness. And you are too powerful, too talented, too full of potential to waste a single moment on someone who tried to bring you down. Success is the best payback because it shifts the narrative. It turns pain into fuel. It takes what was meant to destroy you and turns it into something that builds you. It allows you to walk away from the past with your head held high, knowing that you didn't just survive, you thrived. Pain is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. When someone hurts you deeply, whether through betrayal, rejection, or cruelty, it's easy to feel like you've lost. It's easy to think that pain is just something that happens to you, something that weakens you, something that leaves you broken. But what if pain wasn't meant to break you? What if pain was actually the key to unlocking a level of strength, resilience, and power you never knew you had? Most people don't realize it, but pain is energy. It's raw, intense, and powerful. It shakes you to your core. It consumes your thoughts. It makes you feel things you don't want to feel. But here's the truth. Pain itself is not the problem. The problem is how you choose to use it. You can let pain destroy you, or you can let it build you. You can let it keep you stuck, or you can let it push you forward. You can either drown in it, or you can transform it into something that makes you unstoppable. The most successful, the most resilient, the most powerful people in the world didn't become that way because life was easy for them. They became that way because they learned how to turn pain into power. They took their heartbreak, their disappointments, their failures, and instead of letting those things define them, they used them. They used their pain as fuel. They let it sharpen them, strengthen them, and push them to rise higher than they ever thought possible. Think about it. When have you grown the most in life? When have you discovered what you're truly capable of? It wasn't during the easy times. It wasn't when everything was going smoothly. It was during the struggles. It was in the moments when you were tested, when everything felt like it was falling apart, when you had no choice but to either give up or fight back. Pain has a way of exposing your true potential. It forces you to dig deep. It forces you to find a strength within yourself that you didn't even know was there. But the key is learning how to channel that pain. Most people don't do that. Most people let pain consume them. They get stuck in bitterness, anger, resentment. They replay what happened over and over in their minds, keeping themselves trapped in the very thing they want to escape. They let their pain define them instead of using it to create something better. Turning pain into power means taking everything you feel, the hurt, the disappointment, the anger, and redirecting it into something productive. Instead of using your energy to dwell on the past, you use it to build your future. Instead of letting pain drain you, you let it fuel you. You take all that emotion and pour it into your work, your goals, your ambitions. You use it as motivation to become stronger, wiser, and better than ever before. And let's be clear, this is not about ignoring your pain or pretending it doesn't exist. This is about owning it. It's about recognizing that the pain is there, but instead of letting it control you, you decide to control it. You decide to take that pain and mold it into something powerful. You decide to let it be the fire that drives you instead of the weight that holds you down. Some of the greatest success stories in history are built on pain. Think of the athletes who were told they weren't good enough, only to train harder and prove everyone wrong. Think of the entrepreneurs who faced rejection after rejection, only to keep pushing until they created something legendary. Think of the artists, the leaders, the visionaries who took their suffering and turned it into something that inspired millions. What if they had given up? What if they had let their pain destroy them instead of drive them? Pain is inevitable in life. You can't avoid it. You can't run from it. But you can decide what you do with it. You can decide whether it makes you or breaks you. You can decide whether it keeps you stuck or propels you forward. The choice is always yours. One of the most powerful things you can do is take the pain someone else caused you and turn it into something they never expected. They expected you to be broken. They expected you to stay bitter. They expected you to hold on to the hurt so tightly that you never move forward. But when you take that pain and use it to create success, happiness, and strength, that's something they can't take away from you. That's something that turns the story around. Turning pain into power also means learning the lessons that pain has to teach you. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every betrayal carries wisdom if you're willing to see it. Pain teaches you who you really are. It teaches you what matters. It shows you what you're capable of. It reveals the people who truly belong in your life and the ones who don't. Pain can be one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have, but only if you're willing to learn from it. The truth is, pain changes you. You don't walk away from it the same person you were before. But whether that change is for the better or for the worse, that's up to you. You can let pain make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it harden you, or you can let it strengthen you. You can let it keep you stuck, or you can let it push you to new heights you never imagined. There is power inside of you that you haven't even tapped into yet. There is strength inside of you that has yet to be unleashed. And often, the thing that unlocks that power is pain. Not because pain itself is good, but because pain forces you to grow in ways that comfort never will. It forces you to find out what you're truly made of. It forces you to become the kind of person who can handle anything life throws at them. Pain is a doorway. You can either walk through it and come out stronger on the other side, or you can stand in front of it, letting it block you from everything that's meant for you. The choice is yours. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in life. People hear the word and immediately assume it means weakness, surrender, or letting someone get away with what they did. They think forgiveness is about excusing someone's actions or pretending like nothing happened. But real forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. It's about setting yourself free from the weight of what happened. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace, and your future. When someone hurts you, it creates a wound. And just like a physical wound, if you don't take care of it, it festers. It becomes infected with anger, resentment, and bitterness. You carry it with you everywhere, letting it affect your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. It steals your focus, drains your spirit, and keeps you trapped in the past. But forgiveness is the medicine that allows you to heal. It doesn't mean the pain never happened. It means you refuse to let it control your life any longer. Holding on to anger is like carrying a heavy weight around your neck. Every day you wake up with it. Every interaction, every thought, every moment is filtered through that anger. And the longer you carry it, the more it wears you down. It doesn't hurt the person who wronged you, it hurts you. While you're replaying the betrayal in your mind, while you're thinking of ways to get even, while you're letting your emotions be dictated by what they did, they might not even be thinking about you. They've moved on. But you're still stuck. Forgiveness is not about them. It's about cutting the chain. It's about refusing to let their actions define you. It's about deciding that your peace is more important than your grudge. It's about choosing to step into your future without carrying the weight of the past. Because the truth is, forgiveness is not a gift you give to someone else, it's a gift you give yourself. Most people don't forgive because they think it means giving up their power. They think it means saying, it's okay that you hurt me, but that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is looking at what happened, accepting that it cannot be changed, and choosing to move forward anyway. It's saying, I will not allow this to steal any more of my energy. I will not let this define who I am. That's real power. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got to where they are by holding on to grudges? By letting resentment keep them in a negative mindset? No. They understood that energy is everything, and they refused to waste theirs on something that wouldn't serve them. They understood that whatever you focus on, you fuel. So why fuel anger? Why fuel bitterness? Why give any more of your time, your thoughts, or your emotions to someone who doesn't deserve them? Forgiveness is not easy. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a decision you have to make every single day. It's choosing to let go even when your mind wants to hold on. It's choosing peace over chaos, freedom over resentment, growth over stagnation. It's choosing yourself over the pain. And let's be clear, just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you allow them back into your life. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional grip they have on you, not about forgetting the lessons you learned. You can forgive and still set boundaries. You can forgive and still walk away. You can forgive and still decide that this person no longer has a place in your world. Forgiveness is about refusing to let the past rob you of your future. It's about taking the lessons, using them to grow, and stepping forward without the burden of resentment holding you back. Because at the end of the day, the best revenge is not hate, it's not anger, it's not even success. The best revenge is peace. It's walking through life completely unbothered by what someone tried to do to you. It's knowing that no one, not even the person who hurt you, has the power to control your emotions. There's nothing more powerful than a person who is completely free. Free from anger, free from resentment, free from the weight of what happened. Because when you are truly free, nothing can stop you. You become untouchable. And that is the real victory.